Villa taking on Arsenal, but Aston Villa seem to be not seem to be. Aston Villa were the more compact, better organized, and more intentional team. Now, don't get me wrong. Arsenal dominated possession. They had more possession than Aston Villa, but possession does not equal 3 points. It doesn't do anything. It just guarantees that the team is your rivals are not going to have the ball for a period of time, but it doesn't guarantee that you win. But they created chances that they did not finish. They created chances that were a little too scattered. And so, as much as people will complain about the fact that Arsenal were not given a penalty that they should have been given, the kick against Gabriel, as much as people will question the rules on what should be a handball, a penalty, and a cancelled goal, the truth is, on the day, Arsenal did not perform their best. So yes, you could question the fact that they didn't get a penalty that they should have been given, but in general, they didn't perform their best, and the team that did their best, the team that were most efficient, most effective, got all 3 points. So yes, Aston Villa, I wouldn't say they are in the conversation for title contenders, but they have put themselves in such a fantastic position that it makes other teams that are coming to the Villa Park this season to be a little bit afraid of them. So Arsenal fans, stop shouting you were robbed. You could have
Unai got
better.
one back at his former employers once again then.
Would I say got one back? Because the pain will still be there. But yeah, he told them, maybe you should not have fired me. It was a tough one for the Gunners. I'll say this again because it almost seems as if some major decisions have gone against Arsenal this season. Again, I don't know what the referees in England are thinking. That was a clear penalty on Gabriel Jesus. I know I have seen it not given, but oftentimes in recent years, it has been given. So Arsenal fans can be a little bitter about that, but in general, if they want to tell themselves the truth, their team didn't play the best football that they could have played. And they could say maybe it's because Mikel Arteta wasn't on the sidelines, but I mean, the players should have personal ambition. You are at the top of the table. Oh, sorry. You were at the top of the table. You had the opportunity to sit at the top of the table for another week, and they didn't take the advantage of just that opportunity. So yes, they have nobody else to blame but themselves, even if they are still going to complain about the referee.
All right, let's move on to the Bundesliga. Bayern Munich suffered a jolt, their title defense, losing the first league game of the season 5-1 in Frankfurt and handing Bayer Leverkusen the chance to open a 6-point lead at the top of the Bundesliga.
So this one was a horror show. Remember on Friday we spoke about Bayern Munich slowly going under the radar and climbing to the top of the table? Well, they shocked us just when we thought they were getting it together. 5-1 they lost to Frankfurt. Now it wasn't just it wasn't just the scoreline that was the problem. It was that the 5 goals were a consequence of horror goalkeeping errors. Now guess who the goalkeeper in goal was? Manuel Neuer, the experienced goalkeeper, one of the best goalkeepers in the history of the Bundesliga, conceding 5 goals, and most of them were his errors. So, I mean, Thomas Tuchel will still be under fire this weekend because already, like I said, the hierarchy were not convinced by his coaching, and to lose by 5-1 is already a horror show to Frankfurt. But Manuel Neuer is going to have to defend why they should play him for another week, seeing as he considered a lot of those goals that could have been saved. Not a very great weekend for them, but the good news for them is that Bayer Leverkusen didn't win their own match. They drew. So yes, they are now 3 points clear when they could have been 5 points clear, or sorry, 4 points clear at the top of the table. So tough one for Bayer Leverkusen, but they haven't run away. But Bayern Munich could still catch up. However, 5-1 defeat to Frankfurt is going to be a tough pill to swallow. I know Harry Kane put out a tweet saying, "I'm sorry, the result didn't go according to plan." It wasn't the result that didn't go according to plan. It was the entire performance. Because as Bayern Munich, you cannot. I mean, if you lose by 2-1, they say, okay, there was a mistake. 5, and you scored only 1 goal. 5. Wow. I will never get over it.
Okay, let's get back to England and let's go back to how you opened up the show saying someone might be sacked this week. But let's go first to Bruno Fernandes has apologized for Manchester United's embarrassing defeat against Bournemouth as the Portugal star admitted his side did not have enough effort or quality.
Look, I would say I was stunned by this one. Yes, Manchester United shocked me. Despite the fact they've been bringing inconsistent results, I didn't expect them to go up against the Bournemouth and lose by 3-0. When they considered the first goal, I was like, okay, there's still time for them to get back into the game. And at the start of the second half, they looked a bit more, hungry, especially when they changed Martial and brought on Højlund. I thought they looked a bit more ambitious. But to concede 2 quick goals like that to wrap up the game very quickly, I think would have been shocking to anybody, especially considering the fact that not only was Bournemouth their easiest target in the next few matches, they have Bayern Munich coming up midweek. And Bayern Munich could determine whether Manchester United stay in the Champions League or not. So, and after Bayern Munich, they have Liverpool. So Bournemouth was the only match they had to redeem themselves. And this team went out there and didn't deliver the results. And so it's a tough task. I don't know how Erik ten Hag will still be in a job should he lose to Bayern Munich and then Liverpool. Well, so maybe they are already typing an email or somebody's already making some phone calls. But I don't see how Manchester United can defeat Liverpool in the form Liverpool is in and with the good things that are happening for Liverpool. Because even they seem to be having great calls going in their favor. It's not biased, it's not illegal, it's just happening for them. And then I don't see them beating Bayern Munich, especially after Bayern Munich lost by 5-1 over the weekend. They're looking for redemption from somewhere. And Manchester United is just ripe for that redemption.
One is just hoping if probably Erik ten Hag's agents are reaching out to Sporting Lagos or any club around the NPFL right now.
We don't want. All right. On that note, when we come back, we'll take your messages on. Could you give them numbers again, Zibby?
WhatsApp number 0809 440 981. Stay with us.
Zibby, so when we come back, I think we'll open the phone lines just a little bit for the Chelsea story.
Innovation, convenience, lifestyle goals, or just simply getting service that is designed just for you. Yeah, we thought you might like all of that and more. That is why we specially created Providence Bank for you. To take care of your daily experiences at Providence Bank, we believe that banking should be all about you and your business and how to get you to the next level. If you do not already have a Providence Bank account, please speak with our business concierge on 0700 77 684 387 or email businessconcierge@providencebank.com to switch to a future-forward banking experience. Providence Bank, future forward banking.
She's still, yes, she's still merciless, and she's back in rough. I didn't do nothing right. I will do everything to say lives will be shattered, secrets revealed, and enemies destroyed. But can Wura hold on to power and at what cost?
Watch the new season of Wura now only on Showmax. Subscribe for 1,200 Naira monthly. Sign up at showmax.com.
As we finish the I belong to the chop better earn. Now why anytime I want chop like this, I will put better things in time. For my young porridge, after I don't put my fish, I go pour Tega with onions, patache and Bruno, pour season with correct muffins for that delicious taste. They cost my people. Good life, I like where you shop better. Summer all your food with correct vegetables. Come season up with no cubes. For that open get delicious taste. Today, shop better.
What does future forward banking mean to you? Speed, innovation, convenience, lifestyle goals, or just simply getting service that is designed just for you? Yeah, we thought you might like all of that and more.
So
That is
we're
why
here,
we
yeah?
specially created
Hmm?
Providence
This is
Bank
where we
for
are.
you to
Yes.
take care of your daily
Okay, Zibby.
experiences.
Zibby.
Providence Bank. We believe
Zibby.
that banking should be all about you and your business and how to get you to the next level. If you do not already have a Providence Bank account, please speak with our business concierge on 0700 77 684 387 or email businessconcierge@providencebank.com to switch to a future forward banking experience. Providence Bank. Future forward banking.
Whatever you wish for this season, Amazon delivers. With Eddie Murphy's latest festive family hit, Candy Cane Lane. Dirty your December with gritty action comedy, Twisted Metal. And Richer is back in action for a bigger than ever season 2. So whatever you wish for this festive season, it's right here on Prime Video.
I'm enchanted. This is smooth breakfast.
You're inside the locker room on Smooth 98.1. It's Omas and Zibby, and we have Tega, of course, on the other side. Tega.
All right. So I think we're going to open the phone lines just a little bit because it was a tough weekend for everybody. And let's do therapy session. All right. So should you want to call, let's talk about Eric Ten Hag. Let's talk about Eric Ten Hag, and let's also talk about Mauricio Pochettino. First for Eric Ten Hag and Mauricio Pochettino, which coach do you think would be likely to turn his team's fortunes around? The numbers to call are
0144899981. That's the number. 0144899981. Please don't call the WhatsApp number. Only call 0144899981.
all right. So tell us which of the teams between the coaches between Pochettino and Eric Ten Hag will most likely turn their team's fortunes around, and which one should just be sacked?
Morning.
Just be going.
Good morning.
All right, Bukun, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the problem with Man United right now, even we the fans, we're like numb. We don't care anymore. We're just like Arsenal fans, except we don't have false hopes. Eric Ten Hag, like Tega said, he's so one-track minded. He's like Anthony. He only do one thing. That pattern is not working, and he has to change it. If he doesn't change it, he's like trying to make old soup with okra. That's his problem right now. He has to change. If he doesn't change to use the players he has in the way that fits them, he's going to lose his job. I don't know about any other coach. Thank you, guys. Bye.
All right.
All right.
0144899981. That is the number to call. While we're waiting for those phone calls, can we take some messages?
Yes, let's take some messages.
Okay, this one is okay. Phone call just came through. Good morning. Go ahead, name, location, and just go right ahead, please.
Lagos. Well, yeah, I don't think coach can solve the problem. Hello?
Yes, go ahead. We hear you loud and clear.
I don't think coach can solve anything. That guy is a scam. That guy is a big scam. Ten Hag, all he needs to do is maybe, as he has been doing before, get rid of the players that he doesn't want and use the others. Since he has gotten rid of Sancho, they should get rid of the others, especially Rashford and Marshall, and use the other ones. But outside that, Pochettino is a scam. That one is a scam. He don't go do anything. That one is a scam. But I'm happy that Red Devil collects. Barcelona collects. Which other people?
Arsenal collect.
Arsenal collect.
Chelsea collect.
Everybody don't fall from trees. Thank you very much.
Rolling. Okay, back to the phone lines.
Oh, well, we get the call back. Hello, good morning. Good morning to you. Your name and location. Welcome.
So I think for me, it actually most likely before in terms of the turnaround, not because of the turnaround, but because they have this impatience when it comes to results. However, because of the amount of money they spend, they don't want to see if you can actually do any improvement on the game. While for more than talking about Tega, he has a management that I think patiently in the second season. So let's see what happens in the action. I think just at something that has been momentum, but now that the team is not really being into the game. So for me, I think Chelsea will actually come out, with at the end of the season of better money because they are about this season where they are right now. So I think Chelsea will be the better player than the. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Tega, there you have it. The therapy session this morning seemed to be working and you've got it there. So
yeah, so let's take some stories because we have a lot of stories to run through. Not enough time.
Okay. Girona underlined their La Liga title credentials with a famous victory at Barcelona to move to the top of the table.
Yes, on a weekend that Real Madrid dropped points against Real Betis. Very tough game for Real Madrid against Real Betis. It was expected, and that's how it turned out. That ended in a 1-1 draw. So it meant that Real Madrid were already shaky at the top of the table. But the match of the weekend, Barcelona taking on Girona. And I want to say this, Ike Gundogan shouldn't score for Barcelona again because every time he scores, Barcelona loses. So he shouldn't score again. Just pass the ball and let someone else do the scoring. But it was a tough game. I would say this: Girona were more clinical. They were more compact defensively. They were more resolute in midfield, and they were more clinical with the chances they created. Barcelona, as usual, dominated possession, moving the ball from side to side. But players like Gundogan, Rafinha, and Lewandowski could have finished off a lot of chances that would have given them all 3 points, but they didn't. And so on the day, Girona just showed that they're not at the top of the table by fluke. They're not at the top of the table by circumstance. They're at the top of the table and they could be here to win it. In fact, we're talking about some Girona fans who'd been supporting Barcelona for years because they were the successful Catalan club. And this season, they have been proud to wear their Girona jerseys. So that's how well they've been playing. They're not flattering to deceive. They are not cheating to the results. They are playing brilliant football, cutting through defenses. Barcelona is a little too porous, through the midfield and their defense. By the time you cut through their midfield, you are one-on-one with the goalkeeper. And that's a problem that Xavi Hernandez needs to fix. He doesn't have a defensive midfielder in line to help control that midfield. And his defenders seem to always travel. I think the only defender that plays his position and plays it well is Araujo. Everybody else around Araujo is usually, not holding up the line very well, not defending or all the way up in front. So Xavi Hernandez needs to find a way around that Barcelona midfield and defense. But for Girona, they're really trying to shock us this season. However, I still think that Real Madrid have that X factor and that experience, especially in the second half of the season, to take the title.
So we touch base with some Syria to imagine how this guy would go home if he joined the team bus after the game. But Romelu Lukaku scored but was sent off in the closing minutes as Roma finished with 9 men in a 1-1 draw at home to Fiorentina on Sunday in Syria.
Yes, and I've said it, Mourinho has a discipline issue with his team. As much as the defense is not as solid as it should be, the most important issue he needs to resolve is their discipline. And getting 2 red cards against Fiorentina, at the time they got the first red card, they were leading in that match. Immediately after the first red card, they conceded the equalizer. So it's a match that they could have taken all 3 points and just continued their climb at the top of the table. Unfortunately, they picked up that red card, conceded an equalizer, and then picked up a second red card. I think the only thing that Mourinho can applaud his team for is being able to hold on with 9 men on the pitch to getting at least a point. But it was a horrible display, a lack of discipline shown by both experienced players and inexperienced players. But the Serie A still goes on as it is. AC Milan AC Milan struggling again over the weekend, and Inter Milan just completely showing dominance all over the place. But the good news for the Italian Serie A is that it's not shut down. It's not like last season when Napoli completely ran away with the title. It's still open, and other teams that can beat Inter Milan on a bad day will be able to stop them from winning the Scudetto.
All right, let's race down to England quickly as Abdoulaye Doucouré scored in his 100th Premier League appearance for Everton, and substitute Lewis Dobbin netted a late second goal to earn a 2-0 win over Chelsea on Sunday.
Yeah, Chelsea 1 step forward, 10 step backwards. We've already talked about that. We've already touched on that a little bit with the Pochettino issue. You look at the Chelsea players. They're little young, young, yes, they're a little hungry. And you're looking at that team and you're wondering why they cannot get results out of that team. And it's the kind of team that Pochettino would like, a team with a plethora of attacking-minded stars. And that's what he was known for, getting even from Spain to England, for getting results with. Unfortunately, somehow he seems to have lost his magic. Maybe when he went to PSG, he dropped the magic there. But he seems to have lost his magic with working with young players and working with attack-minded players, not doing the job, not getting the results.
But you just probably just talk about Arsenal ladies, and just so we can massage the ego.
Fantastic. I would say this brilliant work by the Arsenal ladies, what the men couldn't do. It was always going to be a tough one for them. They're playing against the Chelsea side, defending champions. So that's a tough side to beat. And they've suffered at the hands of Chelsea, But they came up this weekend and said, no more suffering. It was the way that they were physical with the Chelsea players, shoved them off the ball, literally bullied them off the ball. And then when their chances came, they put the ball in the back of the net. And I think that was the difference between the men's team and the women's team. The chances that the Arsenal ladies created, they put in the back of the net. The chances that the men's team created, they couldn't finish off. But Arsenal running away there, winning 4-1. But I still think Chelsea can bounce back to win this title.
Just enough time to get a few messages in, Tega. Let's see, from Yili, from Lekki.
He says, please take it easy on the elephant as we're still nursing the wounds it suffered. Kindly focus on those that lost with higher margins from EPL, La Liga, and Bundesliga. That's from Yele, an Arsenal fan.
We are going to talk about the great fall.
After this weekend's results, all I can say to my fellow United fans, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Barca fans is happy beating. We win together, lose together. That's the spirit of bantership. Mohammed says, my weekend was wonderful. The elephant has fallen from the tree. The Red Devil was punished in hell. Barcelona collected water, and Chelsea has exposed Pochettino as a fraud. Ben 10 and Perch are scamming the fans with false hopes.
Yeah.
And then comes this one will be, says, Arsenal performed far better than Aston Villa, but we're just unlucky. Even Emi Martinez testified that they suffered for 85 minutes after against Arsenal and played better. And then AY from Oniru, Man United cannot seem to catch a break. What a circus.
Kane Day says, I agree with you entirely on Arsenal. Tega, the players have themselves entirely to blame for that missed opportunity against Villa. Imagine waiting for Arteta to come down to the touchline to back at them. How to beat common high-line defense. Imagine. Lots of messages. Thank you for sending the messages through. That's all the time that we have for the locker room this morning. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your messages. Thanks for your phone calls. And Tega, thank you.
All right. See you on Wednesday then.
Bye.
No matter how hard I try, you keep pushing me aside, but I can't break through. There's no talking to you. Do music to me.